And welcome everyone to the first official stream of the Cosmere Stormlight RPG. We've done a few sessions as a group going through some of the like session 0 material that you can do in one of the shorter campaigns, but now we're taking our party of adventurers into the main Stormlight adventure that has been written. Fair warning for anyone watching, there may be spoilers involved because this does technically coincide with the actual plot of the story itself, but it will mostly, from what I've read, explain how some things occurred where it's like, oh, how did that happen, in the book. So it's quite interesting in that regard. Before we properly begin, let's just go around the party and have everyone introduce themselves. We'll start off with Tank, I guess.
Hello, I'm Tank, and I'm playing Gale, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
So it's been a hot minute.
And Gale is one of the Unkalaki people from the mountains. They're fairly tall, and we'll get to know them more as the story progresses, I think. Let's do Chris, you go next, I think.
Hello, I'm playing Rook. He is a human from the Shin culture, and he is a agent working for many different parties, most definitely playing some sides at the moment. With both the Storm Warden. Oh, he knows a bit about the Storm Wardens, but he's seeking justice. He's trying to find down the assassin in white, who's responsible for killing the king?
The king of the Alethi people.
Which set in motion a war.
Yes. The War of the Shattered Plains. We will then go to Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny. This is the first time I've played with Roll for Story, and I'm playing Sigrid.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And Sigrid is a human, like all the party, and is a member of the Azish culture, which is kind of an interesting one. It's all sort of about paperwork and rules and traditions. Even I think the Emperor might get elected via paperwork. Bit of an interesting one there. And they are a scholar. Our final party member, Steph, playing Lortan, one of the Natan people, unfortunately cannot be here for this session. So we will be continuing on.
British Railway.
Yeah. But they will be here hopefully next session. So let's get into it. Let me just give, before I actually properly start, I should probably give a little sort of beginning of the world sort of thing. Beset by an endless cycle of violent storms and populated by fragments of the power of creation, Roshar is a world shaped by divine mathematics and concentrated investiture. On Roshar, highstorms and spren interconnect all life, the world's native flora and flourish despite and even because of the severe weather, having evolved remarkable protections such as protective shells and carapaces. The high storms deposit nutrient-filled sediment that sustains Roshar creatures, nurturing the gem hearts within and enabling the creatures to form symbiotic bonds with Spren. The high, as mentioned by Chris, one of the defining current things happening in the world is a war between the Alethi people and the Parshendi. Initially, there was working towards peace, but then the assassin in white stepped in, killed the king, Gavilar, and started the War of the Shattered Plains. A large amount of that war involves fights over these large cocoons, which contain really horrible monstrosities known as chasm fiends. However, in their cocoon state, it's possible to cut them open and extract their hearts, which are large gemstones, which are needed to fuel some of the devices that the both sides require to sustain themselves in this war, where there aren't a lot of resources. The Parshendi are humanoid in nature, but have almost like a carapace crustacean-like formations on their body, which seem to be different and can change, and they work quite well in pairs. I should give a pretty good summary of the start. So let's actually get into things. You're traveling through the unclaimed hills, a sparsely inhabited region of uneven terrain, shrubs and brownstone. Thick grey clouds hang heavy with the threat of a high storm, and bright blue windspread race through the sky. Your good-natured companion Tarzo fidgets with the cast on his broken arm and looks apprehensively upward. He is a curly-haired Shin monk on a mission to the war camps on the Shattered Plains. Tarzo has travelled far, seeking an artifact sacred to his people. As you crest the next hill, Tarzo exhales in relief. Below you lies the sheltered cliffside of the Covenant Stone Crossroads. The cliff walls stand 500 feet high and twice as long. It provides a natural barrier against high storms, making a popular waypoint for caravans. A few such caravans sit there now, including a large military caravan flying blue House Colon banners. Spirits of the stones protect us. The high storm could hit any moment. Let's make some friends and quick. I do not have a map for this part, so we'll be running Theatre of the Mind. A few caravans have gathered at the Covenant Stone Crossroads. Some have already taken refuge, but 2 are still preparing for the high storm. There is a modest caravan shared by a weapon merchant and a cloth merchant, and a larger House Colon caravan consisting of 10 wagons and a company of 100 Alethi soldiers. As you're approaching, feel free to talk to Tarzo or and decide exactly where you want to go. You need to find shelter, because being outside in a high storm is basically a death sentence. It's like a flash flood monsoon on steroids, basically. Yeah, and it's why the storm wardens are so important, because they're able to some extent predict when these are going to occur. They always occur from the same direction. Essentially, it's a storm wall that basically flows around the entire world and comes back. So houses and
so it's
such
like from the perimeter, like from the edge of the world or from the center of the world.
So if you imagine the world as a globe, say it starts at the North Pole, forming like a complete circle around the world, it will then gradually flow around as one gigantic wall until it eventually returns to the North Pole. Most buildings are built in such a way that one side of them will protect from the storm, whilst the other side will provide shelter. So they're in like kind of slants and stuff. And the storms themselves also are a necessary part of life because they deposit a nutrient-rich sediment known as creme, which is needed for both the plant life and wild beasts to survive. It also can be used to charge up spheres, which are glass crystals containing gemstones, with something known as stormlight. And whilst the gemstones themselves are valuable to some extent without stormlight, they are considered more valuable when they have stormlight. And the quality of the sphere and how long it retains stormlight is something of a skill in itself. But yes.
Interesting.
So you are traveling with this Shin monk called Tarzo, heading to the war camps after various travels you've been on, and you have arrived at the stone crossroads just as basically a high storm is about to arrive. The crossroads themselves are named after the Covenant Stone, a 1,000-foot-long grey slab that offers protection from the destructive high storms that regularly move westward and ravage Roshar. Caravans camp at this resting spot for protection against storms and protection from the less scrupulous denizens of the unclaimed hills. The cliff walls, a well-known landmark where promises are made, is covered in burned and painted glyphs. But you are able to approach, essentially. If you want to know anything about what you know about Tarzo, feel free to ask, or if you want to know anything more or in general, just feel free to ask, and I will give what I can and make you roll where I can't.
I'll ask Tarzo, has anyone ever been caught in a storm and survived to tell the tale?
Well, I've heard tales of some. I know rumors, really, of places, even in the war camps of the Alethi, where people are left out tied up overnight in the storms as a form of punishment, and it's rumored some people have survived that, though how is a mystery. It must require perhaps luck, perhaps sheer force of will, or perhaps the stones themselves have protected them.
What about a shard plate armor? Has that ever offered any protection?
Well, a shard plate is very strong. It can withstand a lot of damage, but eventually, well, that's actually perhaps more of an interesting point than you'd think. The shard plates themselves, I think, are somehow fueled by stormlight. They have like gemstones in them which allow them to store it, and it's what allows for their supernatural strength. It's not really known how they're made, but it can use the stormlight to repair them. So perhaps it might be possible to you if the armor can repair itself faster than it gets destroyed, but it wouldn't even necessarily be the damage from being hit by the rain. I'd be worried you'd be swept away and knocked off a cliff, particularly around here, and Or perhaps even drowned in the armor. I'm not sure how waterproof they are.
Noted.
Yes. But we
What
should...
about the rest of you? I'll ask the rest of the pie. Any experience with storms before? Stories?
Hmm.
I mean, would there be anything that I would know from like my tribal's background, the unlucky?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's look at character sheets and remind myself what skills there are, because roll me a lore check. I think.
Yep. I forgot I had those dice. That would be a 19.
So the Unkalaki people are a bit somewhat different than some of the others due to the fact that they live at the tops of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And their homes are built. Actually, now I'm just rereading this. Why is it saying oceans? I swear on Calakia from the Hornwater Peaks, but now I'm just debating this.
I thought you said that they were from like the mountains.
Yeah. So I think there's specifically like waters on the mountains that are practically oceans. So
Gotcha.
probably the thing that comes to mind is the story of how the Unkalaki claimed the Horneat Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
The Unkalaki were at the brink of extinction due to their belligerent nature at that time. They had a leader called Tanakai who talked to the three most powerful kinds of gods on Roshar and asked them for shelter. They were the gods of the trees, the waters, and the mountains. Both the gods of the trees and the gods of the water refused to give them shelter since they cannot guarantee the safety of the Unkalaki. The gods of the mountains do not outright decline their request, but tell the Tanakai that his slopes are places only for spirits, and they cannot sustain life. Tanakai solved the dilemma by asking the gods of the water to place lakes on the peaks of the mountains, the mountain gods to heat them with their thermal energy from the depths of the earth, and the gods of the forest to bring edible plants to now habitable areas on the mountains. The gods are pleased with this solution, and the Hornators move to the peaks. They have somehow managed to survive there, despite everything. Yeah. And just to correct myself, naturally heated lakes on the Hornate Peaks are called oceans by the locals, and there is an ocean on each of the peaks.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, you're not aware of any stories. I think for your people, due to their connections with the gods and the Spren, your people are perhaps more respectful of the storms and wouldn't want to test them too much.
Okay.
Yeah,
he was sort of. Gale was sort of say with how our people are with the gods gifting us our homeland, we don't believe in sort of testing our fate against it, and yeah, we the storms come and we take shelter effectively.
Yeah.
And where would you take shelter typically?
So, because your people often don't leave the mountains, I think it's a rarer occurrence.
Yep.
Your people would probably take shelter in their homes due to the wedge shape, which allows them to essentially protect themselves from the high storms.
Okay.
Just actually checking something. Yeah. I think to some extent the Horneater Mountains, the Horneater Peaks are high up enough that they almost don't even necessarily feel the high storms as much.
Wow.
Okay.
Because the air is noticeably thinner there, and they actually function as a barrier, preventing clouds going east to west. And so the lands directly west of the peaks barely get any rain apart from the high storms.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just say, does Sigrid know anything about the stones that you've mentioned before?
As in the where he's like mentioned spirits of the stones protect us.
Yes.
That is a good question. And let me just look at your things. You can roll me a law check as well, I think. Let's see what you know.
Okay, why aren't you working?
Wait.
Trying to click on it.
So, try placing it. Try refreshing.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you. Aha.
Slight technical difficulty there, so I'm just going to roll it for ease.
Oh, I've got it.
Oh, there we go. No, my roll came in first, but 14 is good enough for this. So thinking on the story that Gale has told and what you know of perhaps a few things, you think perhaps the spirits of the stones might be related to the spren. There are various different spren. As mentioned earlier, there are wind spren that flow with the wind. There are also motion spren that might appear when you're feeling particularly scared or particularly glorious or angry. So you think perhaps it's to do with that. You've heard tales that some Shin people don't like to walk on stone for some reason. But, and perhaps even traveling with Tarzo, he has been perhaps at times apprehensive when it involves walking on stone, but perhaps with a sense of guilt, but a sense of this needs to be done.
Okay.
So you believe it's likely to do with that. Let me just check something. Yeah. So you know of various types of spren.
Yeah.
That you might see. You think perhaps if you were to take a guess, maybe there is such a thing as stone spren, but you can't remember necessarily seeing one yourself. Actually, no, there are rock spren. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're probably on about rock spren.
Rock spren. Okay.
Which are just a type of spren related to rocks.
Okay. So does that make them a rock god?
To some extent, perhaps. That's one of the strangest things about this world. The spren, it can inhabit almost anything. There's life spren which appear with around life. There's laughter spren which appear around laughter. But sometimes, even when people are laughing, they won't appear.
Okay.
Some are more common than others, but some are strange.
Okay.
Yeah. So a thing to remind you about Tarso, just because it's probably an important aspect, and also for the listeners, Tarso was part of a retinue of 4 Shin shamans sent to retrieve what he's looking for. He hasn't told you what he's looking for, which I think possibly Rook might have some suspicions, purely due to culture, but not enough for certainty. However, a couple of weeks ago, Tarso's companions were attacked by assassins whose faces were painted with green glyphs, and Tarso escaped with a broken arm. You met Tarso after that and saved him from being eaten by some axe hounds. And yeah.
Okay.
Quick, we best get towards the camps. Is there a particular caravan that catches the eye?
What caravans are around us?
So there is a modest caravan which looks to be shared by a weapon merchant and a cloth merchant. And there is a large house coaling caravan consisting of 10 wagons and a company of 100 Alethi soldiers.
Wow, okay. So we either go with the merchants or the warriors, basically.
Those are the two that the others have already taken shelter. These are the ones that haven't quite got into position yet, so you have the chance to join them. But as he said, let's make some friends real quick.
I'll look towards my allies. What do you think? Quite a lot of armed forces. We could team up with them.
Well, I'm just a scholar, so I'm just gonna follow what you guys say.
How about you?
Scholar still has their own choice to make.
Do the
in every situation.
Sorry, Chris.
No, go on. Go ahead.
Do the merchant actually look like they have much in the way of guards, or?
Just having a look. I would say no in this case. They don't look particularly well guarded. Just checking that I'm not. Yeah, they don't seem to have much in the way of guards. They have a lot of weapons because one of them's a weapon merchant. You can see them tying bundles of weapons down, but
okay. Might not be a bad side to go with, because let's face it, if the how long do these sort of storms normally last for as they go over?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like are we talking a couple of hours or like a couple of days?
High storm typically lasts for a few hours in a single location.
Okay, so that's not bad too.
Yeah.
I was thinking if it was sort of longer than that, the merchants are probably going to have better supplies in the way of rations. And but if it's only sort of a few hours, that's not going to be too much of an issue. I mean, you said one. Which ones did you say haven't got completely ready yet?
So it's the merchant caravan and the house colon caravan.
House colon.
So,
Right.
yeah, you have dealt with some of House Colon before.
Yep.
And they seem a decent lot for the most part. You would know, and this is something you would know, that the Colin family is who the king belonged to. He was Gavilar Colin. And his brother is famously known as the Blackthorn, a very dangerous warrior.
Okay. Is there a particular one that Gale would have more sway with his patron being the High Prince?
With your particular
it's been so long, my brain's just not working. I'm trying to remember things.
I would say with your particular patronage, thinking this early in the story, it's still probably, you would probably have better sway with the merchant caravans.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst House Colin will likely respect the fact you come from a High Prince, they themselves follow High Prince Dalinar, so
right.
Wouldn't be as perhaps not as swayed as you come from High Prince Sabariel, I think I said.
Sabariel, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is you would probably know that his war camp in the Shattered Plains is very commerce centric.
Okay, so merchant would probably be the better option then.
Mm-hmm.
I will sort of relay that the patron I serve tends to, or deals a lot more with commerce, and maybe the merchants will look at us more favorably with that connection. As a suggestion. It's very much a group.
Yeah. How does Rook feel about that as an option?
Well, we're here to make, Tavo said, fast friends, so if you think you already have some connection and perhaps sway, then let's go with that option.
Okay. So, yes, that makes sense to me. Lortam probably just nods. They were probably considering going with the soldiers based on their background and how they played, but I think they're probably savvy enough that they would see the merit in what you've said, Gale. So we'll head towards the merchant caravan.
Yep.
A circle of 4 merchant wagons is nearly secured for the approaching high storm. An Alethi man with dark wavy hair inspects the ropes tying bundles of spears, staffs, and other polearms. He nods at you and looks up at the sky. You're getting in right under the Stormfather's nose. Nearby, a fashionable Thalen woman sits atop a wagon marked with a bright blue glyph resembling a spool of thread. Angst spren skitter around her as she huddles against the foreboding winds, her eyes searching westward. Yeah. Oh, did you see any wagons on the road coming in? My friend and his daughters were supposed to be here by now. Oh, I'm Svalka, by the way. She is a Thalen cloth merchant with drooping white eyebrows and a caring demeanor. And this chap is Nen. I can talk for myself. I deal in pole arms to the war camps. And don't worry about Rebin. They'll arrive soon enough. Right. Looking at you lot, you don't have any shelter, so I'll prepare some additional seats in my storm wagon whilst you tell me what brings you to the Shattered Plains.
Thank you very much for your hospitality.
Most appreciated.
Yeah.
We didn't see any wagons on our approach, did we?
No.
No, which unfortunately we didn't see anything on our way, but they could have come in from a different position than we came in from.
I'm sure you just came from a different way. That's it. Yes, must be that. Yes, that's what it'll be, Svalka. No need to worry. Rebin's never late. Well, they are this time, but that's not due to an issue, I'm sure. They probably just got distracted by some pretty dancing girls or something. But
the roads are fraught with danger, however.
Aye.
At what point do you send a scouting party or a search party?
Well, right now, even if we did send a scouting party out, if we can't see them, by the time we went out and found them, we wouldn't have a chance to get back, and there ain't many other places for shelter around here, unless you got a shard blade to cut one open. So I think either they
does a quick side eye as he says that.
Yeah, either they get one here, or we have to assume they got waylaid and hopefully Matt realized that they couldn't get here, so they sheltered elsewhere, and they'll be here once the storm passes. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. But what brings you lot to the Shattered Plains? You don't look like merchants. A couple of you look like soldiers, but you don't look like you're with Colin or any of the High Princes that I can see.
As he says, with him saying that, Gale will produce you said that you had like a brooch or a marker.
You'll have some sort of emblem or something to prove your allegiance.
Yeah, he'll produce the mark that he possesses, or High Prince Serbial.
Looks like I've got to get better at judging a book by their covers. I was thinking you were mercs. But if you're working for one of the High Princes, that at least means you're got some standing behind you, so I'm guessing you're heading to his war camp to, for whatever reason, maybe, I don't know what 4 people could help reinforce, but yeah. Or is it just you? What are the rest of you? You're not a usual traveling companions?
No, we met along the way. Safety in numbers.
There is that. You never know when one of those Parshendi bastards is going to stab you in the back.
Have I established a cover or a cover identity for myself yet?
So I think you're. It's a really good question. Let me just look at something on your sheet quickly.
I'm currently just a wayfarer, just sort of a wandering.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're currently. You're ingratiating yourself, obviously, with the ghost bloods via your by some of what's happened, but I think
But I don't go around advertising I work for the Ghost Bloods.
Yeah, so I suppose at this point we can actually establish that. What would you have as sort of your cover story? Like you're a Shin person, they're not a usual traveler. I suppose, considering your connection with one of the party members, no, because Tarso would have called you out on that, and that would have fallen apart instantly. I was going to say you could be pretending to be have an oath stone with one of the party, and that's why you're traveling with them. And then you don't really need to explain yourself because you're doing whatever they say. But what would you say?
What about my knowledge on both sort of the Storm Wardens and the book I've got, Military Strategy? Could I be some sort of advisor? Or...
Yeah, so you could perhaps be, which perhaps Tarzo will have questioned, but perhaps accepts that you are perhaps traveling to the war camps yourself in order to perhaps act as a military liaison between your people and the Shin people. Between your people and the Alethi people. So sorry.
Are the Shin part of the Alethi war?
No, not generally not. The Shin mostly keep themselves to the Shin Mountains of Shinobar, I believe it's called. So and because of all the issues with the assassin in white being a Shin person, there's not a lot of trust for Shin folk. But perhaps
do they have any trade with the Shin? Like, do they offer goods or resources to the war effort?
Yeah, let me have a quick double check on my notes.
I could be, if I'm liaisoning, maybe working out logistics.
Yeah.
That aids with the war, but unless the Shin are completely hands off, like they're like, we don't want anything to do with this.
Pretty much. That is in a lot of cases what would be. But let me just look at my notes. So there are people on your of the Shin that are known as those who subtract, which is essentially the soldiers of your people. They're normally light infantry. In the past, you have your people have attempted to invade other parts of Roshar, but they are mostly isolationists.
Does the Shin speak a particular language? Because there could be some sort of translator.
Yeah, so your people speak Shin, interestingly.
Surprise.
So you could be going perhaps, or even as to become one who adds, perhaps going to study military strategy there to not so much because you want to take part in military action, but you want to understand those who subtract. Perhaps.
I see.
Second. So foreigners aren't allowed there. Just trying to find it in.
So remember, I formed a bond with Steph's character that with Lortan that we are. I'm sort of helping her acquire higher positions because she has trouble with authority figures.
Yes.
And I'm sort of she's recently done something that put her name in bad stead, right? So she's trying to get a clean slate.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of giving her a new identity in that regard.
Yes. We had this written somewhere, didn't we? My brain is not seeing it on your sheet, but I know we got this added somewhere. Or was it on your old sheet and I didn't copy it across?
It might have been on old sheet, yeah.
It
would have been in like the biography kind of notes page. Oh, here we go. It's a note for Lortan.
Yeah.
They asked for legal documents.
Yes. So.
Maybe I work in law. This is another option. This is why I say maybe I have a number of different.
I mean,
identities as
so
backups.
Having a number of different identities definitely works. You lie almost as second nature is a thing of your character.
Then what I'll say to him is, in an attempt, because if he's asking questions, I'm guessing he's either curious or he's just trying to basically get a reading on us.
Yeah.
So maybe I try and tell him something that is benign and something that he's not going to ask follow-on questions with. Something that they're like, oh, okay, all right. And then move along with. So something that doesn't raise eyebrows and gets them to not, suspect anything. Something like a translator or...
Yeah, that's fine. We'll say, you're here to... perhaps you've been invited by House Sabarial to translate some documents they found that are written in the Shin language, and potentially, if those prove of interest, to take them home to your people.
There you go.
That'll work.
I'm merely a translator. Here to translate some documents. It's all rather boring paperwork stuff.
Okay, now because that is technically a lie, I'm going to have you roll me a deception check.
Of course. My speciality.
Yep, that is more than enough. So now I'm going to get each of you to roll me a d4.
Me included?
Yep.
A 2.
Okay. And tank. Okay. Maya really wants to give you that bit of information.
Did we all just roll 2?
Yeah.
I think so.
In which case, I'm going to give you 2 bits of this information, but I'll pick the other one. So, after sort of... actually, I suppose he asked why you're here as well, Sigwir.
I'm here for a change of scenery and to experience the world beyond the life of books.
Interesting. Which I think,
quiet.
You came through quiet then. Were you on mute and came through on my mic rather than...
No, I turned my mic right down to see if that would make any difference.
No, we're fine beforehand. So he sort of points over to one of the House Colin wagons. That wagon there. I managed to have a word with a couple of the soldiers, pour them a drink, that sort of thing. Apparently, none of them know what's locked in that one. No, only Borden does. He's the one who seems to be in charge, despite that sergeant fella over there, LR, acting like he is. Bit of an odd one, that. Though, rumors are, and this is the absolute ridiculousness of it, supposedly they're transporting a delusional man that claims himself to be one of the heralds.
The heralds? Heralding what?
So this is a somewhat important part of the culture. So let me explain this. The heralds were 10. I'm trying to think how much you guys would know about these. Yeah. Perhaps the most revered figures on Roshar are the heralds, servants of the Almighty who held back the void spread and fused from devastating Roshar. Actually, no, that's a bad way to put it. Who held back the void bringers from devastating Roshar. The heralds are central figures in the largest religion, Vorinism. The Azish know them as the Cadasixes. And across Roshar, people of many other faiths worship the herald as well. They are seen by most as divine protectors of humankind. And apparently, one of them's in that wagon. Which seems a bit ridiculous, but...
Why are they transporting him? Is he to be imprisoned or something?
Oh, if you believe that nonsense about him being in there, supposedly it's under orders of High Prince Dalinar himself. Wanted him,
silenced?
No idea. Honestly. But yeah.
How strange.
If it's really a herald, I'm surprised that they can hold him. They're basically gods in themselves. The legendary figures, people pray to them, Yeah. It's all a bunch of bull.
He's not just dehydrated. We do have someone who's adept at medicine. Might be able to take a look at them.
I doubt you'll get close personally. They're very guarding of it. Each of you also, as this is being said, roll me a insight check.
Okay. Can you give me observer as well? Could you give me an observer of all the other characters?
Yes.
Yeah, cheers. Got control of Lortan already.
Insight.
Yep. I don't know why I gave everyone it then. I was only meant to give it to Chris. Let me change that back. There you go. And then you've already got it on yourself. And then there you go. That should be it now.
Thank you.
Yep. So, Sigwear, you don't notice this. Rook. Yeah, I'll say Rook, you're the one who notices this. Probably at the mention of there supposed to be being a herald in that particular caravan, he perhaps perks up slightly and he's eyeing that caravan from a distance. Almost like you'd get maybe the feeling he wants to go and look over.
Alright. Yeah. Okay. Who's that again, sorry?
That's Tarzo, your
Tarzo is interested, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I'll make a note of that for now. Just a mental note.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say that after a little bit of time, you've managed to get your caravan that you're now with and the other caravan. They're now sheltered properly, so you're able to move about a bit and chat, have some food. Glancing over at the House Colon caravan, you probably see the sergeant that they mentioned, one with close-shaved hair, shouting orders whilst soldiers scramble to tie down the various things. Yeah. But the one guarding the caravan itself, just because I do have all of this, is this guy.
Oh. All right. So one of those big hermit crab-like things guarding that?
Yeah, that's a chol, which is pulling the wagon. They're basically the equivalent of sort of horses in this world, or pack animals.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, does Tarzo have any kind of authority to be able to get the guard to give us an audience?
No. So Tarzo's obviously a Shin shaman from your people. He doesn't really have any influence.
No.
Probably they...
Right. You're just interested, though.
Yeah, he's interested for some reason. Perhaps because he's mentioned looking for an artifact of some kind. Perhaps he thinks this herald might have information.
Okay. All right, then. I'll pose the question to them when there's not so many prying eyes or ears to overhear our conversation. And I'll say, so, Tarzo, any leads on this artifact of yours?
No, well, there's, he pauses, and, sorry, there's a thing here. Well, there's someone I need to speak to once we get to the war camps who might be able to give us some more information, but if that person is who they claim to be, they might be able to point us in the right direction. I mean, the heralds, and this is perhaps Let me just check. One of the things that you would just a second. The heralds are quite an important thing to your people. But just trying to find the information I'm looking for. Everything's in so many different sources that I've got.
They're important in some way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we'll need to somehow. I doubt the guard is just going to let us talk to them, right?
Yeah.
You shut them up in there for a reason. They probably don't want them touting this.
Yeah.
In their head, nonsense. Okay, so we'll need maybe a distraction.
Yes, if we can get that guard captain away, or whoever it is that's guarding it, then maybe we can get close and ask him what he knows. I mean, we have monasteries to the heralds back in Shinovar, which is the thing I was trying to find. There's a monastery to basically each of the 10 heralds.
All right. Do I know if these guards are particularly easy to bribe, or are they stalwart, vigilant guards that would never take a bribe?
Okay, roll me a law check, I think. This would be based on what you know of them, which might be from your studies in military strategy more than anything.
Okay. Bad.
You don't know a lot about them, but you don't know for certain. I mean, I would say based on your whole sort of background that you believe, you expect others to lie and cheat you, that even if you were to try to bribe them, they might take the money, but they'd just be like, yeah, jog on.
Okay, all right. I prefer the distraction technique then. All right. So, Sigwear and Gale, do you want to try and create a distraction? And that'll give either me or Tarzo here a chance to talk to the Herald. Could be a good lead for his artifact.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
All right, now what would you like to try to do as said distraction?
It's the military law, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, is there one whose uniform or weapon looks like out of place, or like hasn't been cleaned or sharpened, or that sort of, like the weapon looks distressed?
Oh, roll me. Do we have perception checks on this?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, roll me a perception check. I'm actually going to change map because now that we're at this point, I do actually have something for this that I think works.
Wait. I got an 11.
An 11. Yeah, I'd say maybe one of the soldiers, maybe you can, as you're sort of maybe taking a stroll round, you can see perhaps a few nicks and dust on the blade.
So if I recall correctly, as the sixth son, like that is effectively my role. He's just hunter or like soldier, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so. The first son is first and second race farm, third a craftsman, and fourth sons and younger are warriors.
Yeah, so like loudly, Gale is going to call him out on effectively the piss poor condition of his weapon. Whilst he has the sort of high print servile sort of pin or sort of on his display, like on his clothes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What shall I have you roll to see how distracting you're being?
I mean, I've got a 5 in leadership or a 4 in intimidation.
You know what? In this case,
they both work.
Let's go leadership because you're trying to be sort of that leading role. I don't think it necessarily.
Yeah, it's not
being a
intimidating.
dick. You're more being like the sergeant. Like,
yeah, it's very much like, why is your weapon in this condition? That's going to get you killed.
Yeah, and you're more likely to kill your enemy by tetanus than stabbing him with that blade.
Yeah. Come on. Oh, you.
Okay.
So close to 19.
Let's see. Sigweir, is there anything you would like to say or do to add to this to perhaps back this up?
What that Gale is like the authoritarian.
Yeah.
Can I sort of pretend to be like his second in command?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before they do that, can I use my decisive command?
Okay, what does that do?
When you acquire this talent, you gain a command die, which begins as a 1d4. Spend 1 focus to choose an ally that you can influence within 20 feet of you. The next time they make a test before the end of their turn, they can roll the command die along with other dice on the test.
Yes, so you could spend a focus point to boost Sigweir on their roll.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah, so Sigweir, with what you're doing, I'm gonna have you roll me a. Because you're I'm gonna say backing him up on the whole thing. Roll me a medicine check.
Okay. Medicine. Why am I? There we go. Okay. Oh.
And that's a complication as well. Okay. Okay, this could be actually interesting. I can potentially play with this based on something that would have happened if you'd gone the other path. So let's do that.
It's right.
One of the sergeant who is here, who walks over and is like, if you're so quick to criticize my men, then I've got a job for you.
Oh?
Yeah, so you can help us tie down these chull and various things to basically make sure that we're all secure. Show these soldiers how good you are if you're willing to criticize them as much as you are.
Very well.
Okay, so at this point, you can basically tell me what you would like to do in order to basically tie stuff down, etc.
The chow are the big crab things with the really hard shell, aren't they?
Yes.
I'm just thinking, do I do a funny or not?
I mean, this could be a second attempt at a distraction, depending on what you do, I suppose. But
I want to attempt to intimidate it, and I will threaten it. I will threaten that I will eat it if it does not let us tie it down to be safe.
okay.
And I'll open, and Gale will open his mouth, showing the extra sort of part of the jawbone they have for crushing through shell.
Okay, roll me an intimidation check. And I will see if I have a I will see if I have a stat block for a chull.
Oh no.
I thought it'd be. It was a do I do a funny or do I be serious? And funny's always good.
I think you're the one getting 8.
Let's see.
I'll see who eats who first.
So that's gonna be against their, I think, second spiritual or cognitive. God, mind myself again.
Intimidation is cognitive.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can. Oh, it go. Yeah, I'll probably say it's against their cognitive then. So, do I seriously not have a stat block for this? It feels like I should have a stat block for this. So if it's basically 10 plus those. What did you roll overall? You got a 10.
I rolled a 10.
They sort of just look at you and just sort of snap their claws dismissively. And weirdly, in this case, I'm going to have the other guards be laughing at you. And a couple of them will come over to show you how it's done. But that still doesn't get around Borden, who seems to be the one mostly guarding it. Have you got any ideas, Rook? Because it's Tarzo that wants to mostly get close.
Okay. We got Lawtan as well. I could try something. But as for me, is there any slopes? Are we on flat ground here?
Pretty flat ground, I would say.
Okay, damn.
What are you thinking?
Oh, I was just gonna try and let loose one of the wagons, but if that's not the case, maybe I will. I could always start a fight. Something that would pull their attention.
So,
with Lawtan.
So basically, start a brawl in order to.
Yeah, effectively, yeah. Start like an argument or something. I could go. What have we got? Lawtan. Maybe I just claim that they stole my food, my rations.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just sort of shouting like, "Thief! Thief! I know it was you!" Like, You're covered in crumbs.
Roll me a deception check,
Okay, sure.
and have Lortan roll one as well to be playing along.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in this case, in Lortan's case, I'm going to allow them to push to do the plot die thing.
Okay, plot die. And to really start selling it, I push Lortan, and I'm whispering to them hit me, hit me.
Yeah.
Okay, so raise the stakes, you mean? Or...
Yeah, that's the one. That's the term I was thinking. Couldn't think of the right term. Raise those stakes like it's a barbecue. Okay, and that does give you an opportunity as well, which I'm going to say basically is spent doing this. So LR comes over to try to break up the fight, but is ineffectual. So Borden walks over, and a couple of the other guards walk over. They're there to watch the fight. Borden's there trying to stop it, which gives Tarzo a chance to walk over. LR sort of gets frustrated that he can't do it and walks away a bit. So I'm going to... We'll go to Tarzo's point of view to some extent. Tarzo stares in wonder at the coach with barred windows, Orspren bursting above his head in rings of blue smoke. Eyeing the prisoner, Tarzo tentatively holds his hands up to the bar as he listens to this herald, supposedly reciting a mantra. I am Talonel Ellen, herald of war. The time of the return, the desolations is near at hand. We must prepare. You will have forgotten much following the destruction of the times past. Kalak will teach you to cast bronze if you have forgotten this. We will soul cast blocks of metal directly for you. I wish we could teach you steel, but casting is so much easier than forging, and you must have something we can produce quickly. Your stone tools will not serve against what is to come. Vedel can train your surgeons, and Jezreel, he will teach you leadership. So much is lost between returns. I will train your soldiers. We should have time. Ishar keeps talking about a way to keep information from being lost following destinations. You have discovered something unexpected. We will use that. Surgebind is to act as guardians. Knights, the coming days will be difficult, but with training, humanity will survive. You must bring me to your leaders. The other heralds should join us soon.
Could I just ask you to slow down a little when...
Yeah.
There's a lot of information getting bombarded.
Yeah. I can repeat.
Just breathe.
I am Tananel Ellen, herald of war. The time of the return, the desolation, is near at hand. We must prepare. We will have forgotten much following the destruction of the times past. Kalak will teach you to cast bronze if you have forgotten this. We will soul cast blocks of metal directly for you. I wish we could teach you steel, but casting is so much easier than forging, and you must have something we can produce quickly. Your stone tools will not serve against what is to come. Videl can train your surgeons, and Jezreel, he will teach you leadership. So much is lost between returns. I will train your soldiers. We should have time. Ishar keeps talking about a way to keep information from being lost following desolations, and you have discovered something unexpected. We will use that. Surgebind is to act as guardians. Knights. The coming days will be difficult, but with training, humanity will survive. You must bring me to your leaders. The other heralds will join us soon. I am Tanalal Ellen, herald of war. And he just keeps repeating. In a deep monotone.
Sounds like he's talking to someone, which is bizarre.
Almost.
He's probably the only one in there.
Yeah. But before you really have much of a chance to do much more about that, it seems like LR, with their frustration, has circled back and barks out at him. Move back, stranger. That prisoner is a delusional fool and blasphemer. He spends all day muttering about being some great herald. He shakes his head in contempt and shouts in the back, "Can you save us from the storm, great herald, or just sit there talking to yourself?" He spits between the bars at the man inside. What do the party do? And I suppose this is more, what do Gale and Sigweir do, because he's sort of preoccupied. You two are sort of preoccupied with your fake brawl.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Sigrid's not a fighter, so she'd probably be thinking more of what she's read in her book.
Okay.
So using her knowledge of, let's turn this up a bit. There we go. Using her knowledge of the world around her that she knows, she'd probably pretending to know what she's doing with her. So if I remember right, she's got weapons, hasn't she?
Yes.
So her knife, pretending that she knows what she's doing with it.
Okay, and sorry, so you're pretending to know what you're doing with your knife in order to do what? Sorry.
To enact the pretend fight.
Okay, so you're trying to help in the pretend fight. Okay,
yeah.
So right, so whilst that fight's going on, which has now become a three-way, Gale.
He pulled a knife.
Yeah. Borden, I will say, probably pulls out their spear, and in your case, because you're sort of more acting as best you can, knocks the knife out of your hand and goes, "A brawl is one thing, but we do not need to draw steel in this camp. And you two, calm down. There is plenty of food to go around."
Oh wait, here it is. Sorry, I found it in my pack. Turns out I was just at the bottom all this time.
Right.
My sincere apologies. Wartime probably gives me one more thump on the arm, like, for good measure.
Yeah.
Ow.
Where did Gale's token go? I've completely lost them. Oh, you're still all the way down there. Get up here.
Yep. They've been insulting the guards from a while, from like a distance.
Right.
Like shouting across the camp.
So as Ella
sorry.
As Ella is berating this prisoner and telling Tarzo to get away from them, what do you do, Gale, in regards to this? You're seeing someone basically insult and berate what appears to be a madman.
I mean, because there's the whole sort of one part of him, like very sort of like honor of, let the guy's got enough problems. Let him be.
Yeah. Okay.
But on the other hand, he also knows sort of this whole thing's been a ruse to try and get close to him, so he doesn't want to.
Yeah. So, but it seems like Tarzo has been close enough to maybe get something.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're more than welcome to step in and try to stop Ella from continuing to berate them. You could go for an intimidation. You could go for a leadership. You could try to appeal to his ego. He's not worth it, sort of thing. You're better than this.
I'll try a leadership because it's my better option.
Yeah, and what are you gonna say and do as part of this?
He's just gonna be like, surely you've got better things to be doing with your role than berating a confused old man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Roll me that leadership check.
Leave him to his ramblings and sort of thing. And he's trying to be.
Yeah. Oh, that is very good.
Why couldn't I have done that earlier?
So he backs down and walks away, muttering, and it's this bloody fraud. But yeah, you're right. He's not worth my time. Borden walks over to him, seeing this now that the fight is resolved, and places a hand on his shoulder. You're done. Stand down and cool off. Go sleep it off in the wagon. He then turns to you, Gale, and says, thank you for that. It's been a long few days, but that's no excuse for his behavior. Would you mind helping me further chain down this wagon? We don't want our guests to escape or injure themselves.
Of course.
And it's at this... Yeah.
I was going to say, me and my companions are more than happy to help with this.
And it's at this point that as you're helping do this, you hear that same mantra. It's just the same thing in a constant loop.
Mm-hmm.
And for a better look at this guy, because I should probably reveal what he looks like, considering he is an interesting NPC.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, he is a tall, muscular Makabaki man, but his dark eyes are tired and his long hair is ragged. He gazes into the distance with an absent look, and even when Tarzo tries to speak him, he is unresponsive and continues repeating the same mantra.
Okay.
Possible we can get what he's saying in the chat.
Yep. I can do that.
Because there was a lot.
Yeah.
As we're doing this as well, Gale will look at Rook and go, and also, I have our rations.
Silly me.
Sort of shakes, sort of smile, like laughs a bit, shakes his head.
It was all a misunderstanding. Right, Lawton?
Okay.
Why do you hit me so hard?
I just realised this is completely the wrong wagon that I've been on about. It's actually this wagon here.
This one, isn't it?
No, apparently it's this one. I've just noticed that it actually says so on the top. Not sure what the other wagon is for. It's got a person in, but that's something for later, clearly. Right, so you're chained down this wagon, you're helping out. The Chull have calmed down, the party have calmed down, and after a bit, once all of this is done, Tarzo sort of gathers the party over away from the rest of the group, basically. Away from the crowds, and wants to speak to you.
Mm-hmm. What did you find out?
Let's see. Tarzo motions you over to a secluded spot by the cliff. The stone here is covered with burned glyphs of varying sizes, ages, and handwriting, stretching over 10 feet up the steep cliff wall. The wind picks up and he leans in close. What do you make of the Alethi and who they are transporting?
He's asking me what I think of the guy that he just spoke to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. What did you find out? I couldn't overhear on part me getting punched in the face repeatedly.
What about you, Gail? You were helping chain down the wagon. What did you hear?
Yeah. So Gail will relay what the man's just saying over and over again. Or as best as he can to memory. Yeah. It was a lot. It's just like, that's all he says. He doesn't look at anyone. He doesn't. Yeah, it's as if there's just sort of nothing there. What they want with him, I don't know. But something isn't adding up.
Does Sigrid have any understanding of what's been said from what he has said? Has she got any inkling?
Roll me a law check.
Okay. Give me a moment. Just having a moment. Law.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
Definitely. So, the average person on Roshar, desolations, which he mentions, are mystical apocalyptic wars caused by ancient demon armies known as the Voidbringers. War and religion teach that 10 legendary heralds fought these disasters to eventually let humans ascend to the Tranquiline Halls. Yeah.
So I relay that to the rest of the party.
And yeah. And the what else? Yeah, I think that's
Well, that just went from 0 to 100.
Mhm.
Demons. Okay, maybe he truly has lost his mind.
Tarzo sort of beckons you all in close so that nobody else can hear and looks about conspiratorially. The artifact I seek is a weapon of the Heralds, an honor blade. I know it seems impossible, but that man truly is a herald, the one known in the East as Talanelat, the Herald of War. He motions to the wagon. With the mighty herald here, though, I believe his blade is not within the war camps, but in this very caravan.
His blade?
Yes. Each of the heralds wielded a blade known as an honor blade. It is a powerful tool that can grant supernatural abilities far beyond that of the shard blade.
What?
It's a shard blade. Sorry, I'll try to keep my voice down.
It's beyond a shard blade. It is the weapon of what is essentially a god.
And this is the artifact you're looking for?
Yes.
To what end exactly are you going to need a weapon of the gods?
The stone shamans, you might not know this as it's more of a secret of our people, but the stone shamans live to prepare for the return of the Voidbringers, the return of a new desolation that will sweep across the world and destroy humankind. The only way we can avert this is if we can secure the Herald's honor blades and use their power to turn the tide.
I see.
Surely you want them to use their blades, though.
The heralds are lost or fallen, unable to fight. my people are the sacred keepers of the honor blades in their stead. We have the other herald's blades, and for millennia a chosen few have trained to use these blades to protect Roshar.
How many blades is there?
10, one for each of the heralds.
And how many have you got so far?
9.
So, yeah. The last piece of the puzzle is somewhere here. And they're not
Yes.
exactly going to let you hand it over, right? So,
Yes. We have kept the honor blades secret for years for fear of what thoughtless leaders would do if they knew about them. If one of the honor blades is here and being transported to the war camps, then it's possible that the High Prince Dalinar knows what it is and plans to use it for something. But they take training,
No doubt.
dedication to use.
I see.
And you would remember that Tarzo also said that he believed that the assassins who killed his 3 companions previously are also after this artifact.
All right. This is quite high stakes.
Yes, and it's important we keep it secret. I feel like I can trust you. You help me in my time of need. And what else can I do but trust? I know that this quest is too big for me alone. Stonewalker assassins killed my comrades and threatened to take the blade.
Well, if you were to try and take it back by force, if they found you out, they'd likely readily kill you as fast as those axe hounds I saved you from.
Yes, we find ourselves surrounded by a battalion of hot-headed soldiers, and I don't want strife or bloodshed. So let's travel with the caravan until the war camps and learn what we can. We have a contact who will know what to do next. But I implore you, please keep this secret. If anyone was to find out the truth, it could lead to disaster.
Understood.
Of course.
Yes.
Take Lord Tan's silence as an agreement.
And with that particular bombshell, considering we don't have Lord Tan here and there's some stuff that's going to happen soon, and we've also just had a bunch of big reveals, and I don't want to do any more big reveals without them, I think we'll wrap up there for this week. And hopefully continue next week if people are available.
Yep, I'm available.
Yep, you know me, mate.
Sure.
I'm about.
Yeah, I think I'm free.
Right, so thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. Continue hopping across worlds, and we'll be back soon. And read the books if you haven't; they're really good.
Can confirm they
really
are,
good.
and I blame James for getting me into them.
As does Danny.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.